Hi guys, so it's Wednesday. I've just got home from work and had some bad news. Not awful, but basically a friend of mine who owns a fencing company was going to help me with our fence. As you will remember, we're going to go out and have a look in a minute. You'll probably remember we have turned half of our garden into a bed, which is just there. And the other half, we've got a hedge that was like halfway across the garden. We're going to pull that hedge out, put a new fence in, etc, etc, etc. And I'm getting a friend to come and help me do it because he's a professional fencer and he really is amazing at what he does in terms of like speed and quality. So what would take me, probably all the fencing I want to do here, there's quite a lot of extra little bits on top of what I've already let you know about, but it would probably take me about 6 or 7 days, whereas between us we'll do it in 2 easily. But I got some bad news today. He texted me and said, I'm sorry mate, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that in June, because he was trying to fit me in next week or the week after. He said, I'm just too busy, so it's not going to be happening. So I told my wife and I said, well, what are we going to do? Because we can't really wait any longer. It really is holding up so many of our plans. So I've come home. My wife has already cut the hedge back. She couldn't wait any longer. Now you might remember this hedge was right out to here, almost halfway across the garden, or what's left of the garden up to the polytunnel. So she's taken that out and cleared up a lot of this as well. Now obviously this still needs replacing, all this fencing, but once we've got rid of all of that pile of cuttings, we have actually got most of our space and we can start using it, maybe putting in some more beds, etc, etc. Good news and bad news. You know, the bad news is that the fencing is going to be a bit longer than we'd hoped, but here we are, about to clear all that rubbish away. So I think it means that my wife and I will definitely now be able to start thinking, right, what's going where, what are we going to do, how are we going to use the garden, how are we going to use the space, because once that's gone, it'll look far more open. And you might have noticed I didn't get around to building that chicken ark at the weekend. And I just stopped the time lapse to say yes. That's my wife sweeping the grass. She also mops the car. So that's it, finished for today. Not finished. Looks, you know, it doesn't look finished and it's not finished. It looks hideous, the actual hedge, because of, you know, we've hacked at it, but the garden looks so much bigger and we're getting somewhere. Progress, that's all we want. Okay, so now it's Thursday, late afternoon. I've just been to the lockup to pick up that, which is a dog kennel that we had at the old house. I've got no use for it now, so that's going into an auction at the weekend, and I'm just parking it at my father-in-law's and my mother-in-law's until Saturday, which is also the home of my bees. And look, that there is a healthy looking colony to me without going inside. I don't have my bee suit with me, so I won't be going in, but that's some busy girls. Very happy with that. Oh, that's really cheered me up seeing those. So I'm just leaving my in-laws now to head home, and you'll notice I've picked up a passenger or two. We've picked up a fence panel that my father-in-law had just lying around, which is going to help temporarily for the boundary at our house, and I've picked up a new blueberry bush. Look at it, teeming with blueberries. Among other things, I'm pretty much fully laden. And my father-in-law was saying this is like the most traditional, I suppose that's not really the right word, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but this spring has felt more like a usual spring than any he can remember for 10 years or so. He was saying how it feels like for the last decade or so, there's always been what we would probably call, you know, unusual weather, whether it's like last year and the really late frosts that just persisted, or you know, a burst of snow in March or April or whatever it is, but this year just feels right. And I mean, I couldn't agree more. It feels like a great year. It's going to be a great growing year if you know, the first portion of this year is anything to go by. Right, I'm over the last cattle grid and leaving the estate. I'll see you guys when I get home. Okay, so I've just got back to the house and I've been doing a video which you've probably already seen on home cured bacon and using this bacon pack. And today was tasting day, and so I'm halfway through. I've just finished making the video and I'm halfway through eating the results. Really good. Really, really good. So we've had a huge rethink as well about the hutches, because this one, my wife's actually really happy with it, apart from she can't get in the back because the access is up against this wall. And well, like I explained in my last video, it's really difficult to get into. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a new doorway in this end, and then this hutch is going to stay. So we don't need to replace this. And we've also had a rethink about the other one as well. Again, it was about the size of it and the location of it. Well, rather than build a new run, what we're going to do is we're just going to build a new house and keep the run on the outside of that one. So we're going to build a smaller house so it's easier, more maneuverable for Jackie. I'm going to end up returning a lot of that wood to the builders merchants, which is fine by me. You know, it's less money we're going to have to spend. But for now, right now, my job is to make a new doorway in this end. So that's my door and my flap. So the next thing I'm going to do is just plane off these three sides to make it easy to open and close. When you're doing something like this, the trick is, obviously you need the perfect length screws to go through there, bite into that but not come out the other side. For a job like this, sometimes if I haven't got the perfect length screws, I'll sacrifice and I will have them sticking out the other side. That's the sacrifice I'll make. But then I pilot hold each one of these because this is so dry and brittle that it would split, particularly those three, because they're near the edge. So I pilot hold all of them. I've made a hole with the drill just through this piece of timber, not through that one. Then I've screwed it in so that the screw only bites into that back timber and holds everything together. Make sense? And then all I've done is I've planed off those three sides, because otherwise it's too snug.
Why that way and not the other way up?
Why not that way up?
Yeah.
Then it would sit closed, but you want it to sit open, don't you? We don't have a cockbird in here, so none of our eggs are fertile, but we've got these eggs that we picked up from Granny and Grampy, because 3 of our 4 Pekins have gone broody. We've also picked up this patented hen brooder circle ring thing.
This is my patented egg scooper.
Yes. That's what Jackie was using to scoop the eggs out with before. But this is so that the birds will sit in there and it will just stop any loose eggs getting lost and falling out from under them. So it will sit there and act like a little ring to help keep the eggs in. So my wife's going to put the eggs under the girls now and let them do their thing. They'll figure that out, won't they?
I think so, yeah.
Job done. So because of the Queen's Jubilee, it's Thursday the 2nd of June, like I've said, and it's the Jubilee today, the 70th Jubilee. There's a big party thing in the wreck just over the road, so that's where we're going for tea. When we get back, if we feel like it, if we've got the energy and it's not too late, we're going to put up the string for our climbers to climb up. We've got these seed potatoes to go in, which we're going to put in buckets. And I can't think of anything else that we might do today, but you never know. And then that will be, yeah, that'll be it for today, I think. You know, I don't think we'll get all that done. I might not get any of that done. It might just be over to the park. But yeah, things are coming on. So it's like another week and, you know, definitely another week of progress. It feels like we've got so much more space now. It's still a work in progress, lots to do, but we're getting there.
Dad, where's the
He's having nothing.
Yeah. There's one egg left unclaimed, but the rest, they're all very, very happy to be sat on. Good girls.
The blue one. Hello, you.
So that's what we did. We went over to the park with the whole family and we had our dinner over there. There was a big lantern that they lit, which was being lit. There were hundreds of them being lit all over the country. And that was really nice to be a part of. And then we came home and we did our strings for our climbers to grow up. So that's another great job to have done. And then we went back out after dark to see the lighting of the lantern. It was really, really good. A really, really nice evening. Okay, so it's 5:20 on Friday. Been home about an hour and I've already got out some of our seed potatoes. We've actually run out of compost, which I didn't realise. I didn't realise we were running so low. You can see our string is up there for our climbers. But I've planted out some of our potatoes in these buckets and in that planter. And I thought we had both of these compost bins almost full of compost, but my wife's been using it for all sorts of things like the raspberries and, well, you can see everything that we've got in pots all around the place. And out the front, we've got an awful lot of flowers now and all sorts potted up. So, yeah, we just used a lot more than I had anticipated. So that's drawn a line under that. I'm going to need to get some more compost, which I will get tomorrow, Saturday. But now I'm going to spend the next couple of hours. We had another change of plan and we're going back to building at least one chicken ark. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. We're going to get showers, so I won't be able to film all of it, but I'll bring you along as we go. So I'm basically just at the moment constructing the framework out of this batten. It's just roofing batten. That's basically going to be the size of it. So I'm going to get the framework built. It's really just simple construction. It's all just screwed together. And every screw hole, I've done a pilot hole first. You can probably see there's a little pilot hole there ready to take the next one. That's an upright, so it's going to sit like that. And then it's going to attach through that pilot hole into one of those pieces of wood on the floor there. But you'll see how it all goes together in a second, because what I'll do, I think, I'll get on with a bit of building. Yeah, we'll have a chat when I've got the framework constructed. How's that? Right, so it's nearly 9 o'clock. I haven't been able to do much filming because we've had quite a bit of rain, but we're nearly there. It's taking shape. You can see what it is. So this side's all solid. And then this side, you can see I've put an extra strut in here. So this is going to be the opening hatch. Gives us plenty of access. Just like on this side here, we'll put 2 runs at the bottom, which are fixed, 1 at the top, and then the middle 3 will be the door that opens. And got quite a bit of size in here. I've just used some grip fill that I had to fill in some of the holes. And yeah, that's it. We're nearly there. I'll have to build a ramp at some point for them to get in and out easily. But yeah, we're nearly there. And I'm definitely just about done for tonight. Really exciting day planned tomorrow. Well, so exciting, busy. We're going to a medieval pageant and going to put our dog kennel up at the sale, which is happening on Sunday, the auction. So you can't see because the camera does a great job of masking it, but it's actually quite dark out here now. But we stayed out and got it finished. My wife came to help and we've completely finished it. So we built the ramp, the housing with the door. And I'm exhausted. It's very late and I'm going to knock it on the head. This time I really am ending, and I'll see you tomorrow. Saturday morning, family trip. We're all on our way out to the medieval pageant. Gonna get some lunch down here. Very windy.
Eric Bloodaxe, and Eric Bloodaxe was the last Viking king of Northumberland.
He's trying to untie it around his foot.
I could even make it go.
It's been a really busy day so far. We went out this morning to a medieval pageant, like a fete. It was really fun. We also got to hold a pheasant and a kestrel, which was great. All of us did that. And then my wife and I have been and taken that big dog kennel to the auction where it's going to be sold tomorrow, because it was taking up so much space in our container. We just couldn't get to half of our stuff, which is still there in storage. I built this yesterday, as you saw, and my wife has just transferred the chickens across, because we're now going to take that one, that chicken house, out to the auction as well and sell it. So we're starting to get organised, but it's taken us all day to get here. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, it's taken us all day to get this organised, and it's going to be a nightmare getting that out the gate. It doesn't quite fit. That's our plans for the rest of the day. So I haven't done much homesteading this weekend, but I do feel like we've made some big steps forward. There is one quick update I wanted to give you before we go any further, and I just wanted to show you these cuttings that I took off the tomato plants. Look at all those roots there. So these are ready to be potted up, and they've even been flowering, trying to produce tomatoes for us. So that was well worth doing. Our seedlings are all coming on. So maybe next weekend, maybe the weekend after, these will be ready to be planted out, and I feel like we're getting it together. I still need to put my supports in here for my tomatoes. That's the only job that I had on my sort of to-do list for this weekend that's not going to get done today. Bit of a mixed bag this week. So we've got it loaded. It's on the trailer there behind us, that chicken house. Remember, the reason that we're getting rid of it is because it's so heavy, and my wife can't maneuver it around the garden on her own. That's why we changed, and I built that new ark. So Torrin and Jackie, my youngest son, and my wife put the brown hens across into the new ark, and then the rest of the family, including my wife and my eldest two, all lifted that chicken house out because it's too wide to go through our gate. So we had to literally lift it above our heads and lift it over the roof of the shed through the gate at the back. I think I've done something to my back actually doing it. So there you go. It hasn't all gone swimmingly, but we are loaded on, and this is such a great job to have done, because my wife said the second I get my new one, the problem is I'm going to want to get rid of that old one like immediately, and just happenstance we've been able to do that because we've got these lots at the auction that we can fill. So we're on our way over now to take this off, put it next to the dog kennel, which is moved and which I set up, not just me, with help from my wife and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, and that's all done. And this is the perfect time, if you're going to sell a chicken run, this is the perfect time to do it, because this is when people are buying them. So yeah, it's gone really well, and I reckon that we'll probably recoup most of the money that it cost me to build that new one, if not all. So it'd be really interesting to see what it goes for at the sale. We're not going to be at the sale tomorrow because it's we've just had a really busy weekend, and it's almost Saturday evening now, and we've done loads of fun stuff with the family. You know, we went out this morning to that pageant, we went out yesterday to the Jubilee celebrations, and tomorrow we've got more family stuff planned. So I think we're just gonna unload this, aren't we, love, and go home and have a bit of a rest before tomorrow. So I've really done something to my back. I'm not sure what, but yeah, my back's knackered from getting that chicken house in. It's really done something. So I'm running a bath, and then I'll be going to bed. That's me done for the day. I'm really in quite a lot of pain. We're really happy with the progress this week, and that run now, that new one, that's entirely where the hedge was. Like, we didn't even have that space. So yeah, we're really getting somewhere now. Got a handful of potatoes still to plant. Got to put my supports in for my tomatoes in the polytunnel. I'll probably do all that tomorrow, but that's going to wrap this video up. So thanks ever so much, guys, for coming along with me today. Please do think about checking out the podcast, the Self-Sufficient Hub podcast. And also, before you go, please do all those good things. Please press that like button. You can do it right now, and it really does make a difference to this channel. Please leave me a comment down below, and if you're not already, then make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you really soon. Cheers.